This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Amanda Starantino and Kevin Gregory here at the RTV6 studios, separate but together.
And I'm Mark Mullins here at my remote studio in my home. We're doing what we can to slow the spread of COVID-19, but continuing to work for you to get answers on what's going on.
COVID-19 has now taken the lives of at least 49 Hoosiers. That's up 14 deaths from yesterday, the most new deaths reported in a single day. The state of Indiana is reporting nearly 2,200 cases total. RTV6 has broken down the cases by county on the IndyChannel.com. Now let's go over globally reported numbers. There have been nearly 830,000 cases reported total, about 175,000 of those in the U.S. The U.S. has the highest count of cases in the world. The coronavirus is being blamed for killing over 40,000 people internationally, but nearly 175,000 people have recovered from the virus.
Indiana is still on a stay-at-home order. The U.S. Surgeon General just named Indianapolis as an emerging hotspot for COVID-19. So that's prompted many questions like, should we all be wearing masks out in public? RTV6's Cameron Riddle is committed to asking tough questions and following what's going on. He's got the latest for you tonight.
Well, good evening. As the governor and state officials try to get us prepared for what's coming our way, they are clarifying and answering a number of questions on the top of Hoosiers' minds, including, should we all be wearing face masks? The conversation surrounding face masks has started to evolve at the national level. At first, experts were adamant that the public does not need to wear those masks, and now that has changed, with multiple doctors saying everyone should be wearing a mask when in public. Here in Indiana, State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box says face masks, of course, should be worn by healthcare workers as they are around other people with coronavirus symptoms. But should the general public be wearing face masks? Dr. Box gave a very clear answer at today's virtual press conference.
Every individual in an entire state or country masking is, number one, not realistic from a personal protective equipment standpoint, but not necessary.
And as it has been noted several times, that gear, that personal protection gear, is already hard to come by and is needed first inside the hospital. And that need is only going to grow as the number of coronavirus cases continues to increase. In other news coming out of the State House this afternoon, Governor Eric Holcomb says to expect another announcement surrounding schools and when and if they will go back to regular session before the end of the academic school year. He says that plan is being formed right now, and he will have an announcement on what that plan is in the next 48 hours. At the State House tonight, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Thanks, Cameron. And the government is telling people to stay home, but for many, their home is not a safe place to be. COVID-19 is prompting a surge in domestic violence in central Indiana, according to advocates. RTV6 reporter Kara Kenny talked with a survivor who explains what you need to be doing right now.
COVID-19 has many families inside together for hours on end with little connection to the outside world. The increased stress and isolation, advocates say that's a recipe for domestic violence. Miranda Barnett is a domestic violence survivor. She and experts say now is a rough time for many couples that can lead to both verbal and physical abuse. Look out for things like a loved one being controlling, not giving you privacy, or trying to dictate who you talk to or where you go. The problem with COVID-19, it means victims may have a hard time leaving the home.
When I was in a situation where I was a victim of domestic violence, I was actually trapped in my house for a short time due to some circumstances, and that was about 6 months of a nightmare for me. It was worse than anything I could ever imagine, and to not be able to physically leave or do anything about it, because of monetary problems and different issues, was probably one of the worst things that I've ever been through.
Miranda says you should call your friends and family and ask how they are and pay attention to their answers. Domestic violence in Marion County already occurs at a rate 8 times the national average. Advocates say they can help a victim do a protective order entirely online without having to go to the courthouse. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And we have included a list of resources on domestic violence in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. Kevin.
In the final hours of March, putting the finishing touches on what's been a very wet month, over 4.6 inches of precipitation. That included this, 1.2 inches of snow. As we move into April, I'll mention we do average 0.2 of an inch of snow during the month of April. See these little green dots? Some very light showers scattered across central Indiana. They're coming from the northeast to the southwest. They'll be around for a few hours. Clouds are going nowhere this evening. Temperatures quite cool. 41 degrees in Indy, 44 in Peru and Muncie. That cool north wind makes the wind chill temperature sit generally in the low 30s. It feels like 33 right now in Indy. Between 7 and 11, these spotty light showers, they'll fade away overnight. We'll talk about your hourly forecast for the first day of April coming up.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative has been and always will be committed to connecting you to jobs and resources.
And that mission is even more urgent now as unemployment skyrockets amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us with a look at a career that taps into an unlimited resource.
Right now, as a country, we are in uncharted territories, and many people are worried about running out of essential items, whether it be toilet paper, food, water, and even electricity. And that's why the co-founder of Power Home Solar says they have had more people reach out to them than ever before since this crisis started. They're looking to have solar energy installed in their homes.
I think consumers are really feeling concerned about what the future holds. And, you know, when it comes to energy and power, that's an uncertainty.
Because of that uncertainty, Power Home Solar is looking to hire.
We are actually hiring sales energy consultants, and we're also looking for installers as well.
Ben Brookhart is the co-founder and chief sales officer for Power Home Solar. He says to be a successful sales consultant, you need to have 3 things. 1, a positive attitude. 2, a good work ethic. And 3, the desire to change your life.
When you come into the solar energy field, you have a chance to change the world, change the environment, but also help people have that energy independence.
Brookhart tells me the sales position is full commission, but he says the clients are curated and the average commission is $2,000 per client. They also offer full benefits.
We provide a W-2 opportunity, so full-time is what we're looking for. We provide health insurance. We provide a company vehicle. We provide a gas card. We provide 401k.
For both the sales and the installer's position, he says no experience is required.
So as far as the installers, we're just looking for guys that, you know, are good with their hands and are good with tools, don't mind working outside. We help them with all of the certification.
Brookhart says Indiana produces more leads than any of the 9 states that they're currently operating in. And he says to work for his company, you don't have to be in Indianapolis. He says they're hiring across the entire state of Indiana. For more information on how you can get a job with Power Home Solar, head over to hiringhoosiers.com. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The effects of the economy from the coronavirus are staggering, including job loss. On the IndyChannel.com, you can find a list of businesses that are still hiring right now. And for opportunities today and every day, head to hiringhoosiers.com.
We're Open Indy is an RTV6 effort focusing on what's open in honor of your local businesses trying to serve you and stay afloat. Consider taking part in Takeout Tuesday tonight. Now more than ever, Indiana restaurants need your patronage, and we're keeping track of how they are working to stay open and continuing to serve. You can find their stories and a full list of places to pick up food for Takeout Tuesday right now on the RTV6 mobile app and the IndyChannel.com. And from the way we eat to the way we work, the coronavirus has changed everything, including this life-saving procedure that's already complicated as it is. Coming up, how the process of getting a transplant looks a lot different now.
And talking of a successful transplant, it's impossible without this. So are a lot of other life or death saved? Still ahead, how blood banks are finding enough blood. When the news at 7 continues on RTV6.
Working for you.
Right now on RTV6, life-saving surgeries won't stop even though doctors and nurses already have so much on their plates treating those diagnosed with COVID-19.
RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain how hospitals and donor networks are working together to keep recipients safe during this pandemic.
Richard Waltman is on the donor recipient list.
I'm just worried about what this does to the hospital's transplant programs.
He's waiting to hear there's a heart and kidney match for him, but as he waits, he wonders how the COVID-19 pandemic could impact his transplant. The federal government has classified organ transplants as essential non-elective surgery, so that means those awaiting a transplant should not worry. But Waltman is still concerned, even though he knows the process won't be held up because of the coronavirus. Steve Johnson is the Indiana Donor Network's chief operating officer. He's working to put potential recipients at ease.
We certainly don't want to pass on a virus to someone who is immunosuppressed as a recipient. That is a very, very dangerous thing, and so we're really looking out for those recipients.
He says they've partnered with state hospitals and the Indiana State Health Department to make sure donors are tested quickly for the virus. In fact, he says they're on top of it because they don't want to put vulnerable patients at risk, but they also realize they are performing life-saving procedures.
They have helped the hospitals as well as our teams be able to get that testing done right away and get that over to them for them to be able to process and get back to us. Because as you can understand, we don't want there to be more casualties associated with the COVID-19 than there have to be.
Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Only on RTV6 News.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
RTV6 is learning fewer people are reporting child abuse and neglect amid the COVID-19 pandemic, according to new numbers obtained by Call 6 Investigates.
The Indiana Department of Child Services hotline saw an 11% drop in calls comparing this March to March of 2019. It's a trend child advocates feared would happen as children are isolated with their families and not seeing trusted adults who might report abuse or neglect. Prevent Child Abuse Indiana is calling on neighbors, store clerks, postal workers, sanitation workers, and others to please be on the lookout.
And with schools closed, people working from home and social distancing, one of the casualties of it all is the nation's blood supply. The coronavirus is severely limiting how much blood is getting collected. Maya Rodriguez went to find out how blood banks are finding enough blood and how they are making sure it's safe.
Blood banks in the time of COVID-19 face a challenge unlike any they've dealt with before.
So we have been putting out a call for donations.
Dr. Megan Delaney of Children's National in Washington, D.C. says the hospital's blood bank found help in their own ranks.
We have had quite a few employees coming and donating to us, which has kept our blood supply at a healthy level.
But it isn't a long-term solution. Blood banks throughout the country are facing similar challenges, with blood drives normally held at schools or businesses canceled because of the virus. The Red Cross says it's dealing with a deficit of at least 86,000 blood donations. Innova Blood Donor Services says it's struggling as well.
We are able to maintain it at its current minimum levels.
To try and get beyond the minimum, Innova turned to this fire station in Virginia to hold a blood drive in the parking lot by appointment only. The idea is to maintain social distancing while keeping the number of blood donors coming in a steady stream and not all at once. Because beyond dealing with the pandemic, the need for blood at hospitals is constant.
You never know what's going to happen, whether, there was an accident that happened, then a patient needs a trauma and emergency transfusions, or there are the patients who come in with a crisis, or they come in for maintenance transfusions. So every day is a new challenge.
Back at Children's National, they're also keeping in mind any apprehension donors or blood receivers might feel during this time. Doctors say the blood supply is safe from the virus.
We test for lots of infectious diseases in the blood. However, there's been no evidence that a respiratory illness such as influenza or coronavirus is transmitted through the blood supply.
A reminder that health and safety remain a top priority during this outbreak. In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez reporting.
You could definitely feel it. Temperatures today 13 degrees below average. So where are we headed from here? Our modest high temperature today in the lower 40s will be replaced by early next week with temperatures in the 70s once again. We've got that to look forward to. A lot happens in between. Temperatures, though, gradually warming each day as we move toward the weekend. Although we have a couple of very spotty light showers now, forecast is dry Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The next best chance for any more widespread rain would be Saturday, and that does not look to be heavy rain Saturday or Sunday. That's good news. We need a lot more time to dry out. I could chase all these little individual green specks, but I think I'd make you dizzy. So let me just say this. Very light showers, especially from Indy to the northeast. Now they're moving to the southwest, an unusual direction. They'll continue to drop south of Interstate 70 for the next couple of hours. The light showers. It's a cold rain too. 41, that's our temperature in Indy. We're the coolest around. 43 in Muncie. Terre Haute and Bloomington at 44 degrees. Where's the warmth going to come from? Out to our west. You get west of the Mississippi, but not tomorrow. We still have a north wind tomorrow. We're drawing the cooler air from Ontario, Canada, the Great Lakes. That will continue to filter in. Once the wind direction changes, we get a little later in the week, we'll grab hold of the warmth and pull that into central Indiana. Tomorrow morning, dry, cloudy, and cool. Temperatures in the upper 30s move to about 43 by 11 a.m. Afternoon temperatures again kept below average because of the wind. It won't be that strong, but it's noticeable. 10 to 15 mile per hour gusts out of the north, and that keeps our temperature below the average high of 56. More clouds in the morning with more sunshine breaking through in the afternoon. Thursday, we'll start to win the tug of war between clouds and sunshine. That will help our temperature climb to 60. The wind starting to turn direction too. Once we get a good southwest wind, this happens. Temperatures Friday at 65 degrees. The weekend, the chance for showers a little greater Saturday than on Sunday, but both days would be included with that chance for showers, low to mid 60s. Early next week, our temperatures really start to take off. 73 on Tuesday. Beyond that, beyond the 7-day forecast that you're looking at, indications really for the next week after that. So the first couple weeks here of the month of April, above average temperatures should prevail. With that chance for rain Saturday through Tuesday, no heavy rain expected at this time. Mark?
All right, Kevin, thank you for that. As you head out to go to the grocery store to restock the fridge, it's still a risk despite being necessary. Patrick Terpstra from our Scripps partner Newsy shows us how to pick up what you need without the germs.
If you're like me, you are starting to run out of your coronavirus provisions, or maybe you just really crave a fresh piece of fruit. Either way, we wanted to know, if you decide to venture out into a grocery store, how do you do it and still stay healthy? The grocery store may be the one place you're still going outside the home.
Just eggs, some bread, some condensed milk.
The Center for Food Safety says shopping still has risk, but you can lower your chance of infection.
For the most part, the stuff in the grocery store itself should be safe. You do want to avoid crowding around other people.
This Whole Foods put down tape to keep people socially distant in line.
Good practice now is to wear gloves. Choose things that are going to require cooking, like all microbes. This one doesn't survive past about 165 degrees.
Shop in stores taking precautions like wiping down credit card machines, carts, and shelves. Give workers space.
It's more of a risk for these essential personnel than it is for you. So if you've got a cough, just don't even go to the store.
Some retailers are reserving the first part of the day for seniors and other immune-compromised people to protect the most vulnerable shoppers. Pick up only what you want, assume others have touched products, and think about wiping down boxes you buy. If going to the store doesn't seem worth the risk, consider food delivery. Patrick Terpstra, Newsy, Washington.
RTV6 is working for you.
Working Together is RTV6's initiative to share the stories happening of people working together to get through the coronavirus's effects on Indiana. If you have a story to share, now send a message to workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Let's talk temperatures. Not much else is happening, so these temperatures that are very cool now will gradually warm up. Temperature by Thursday up to 60. Friday, what a great way to end the work week at 65 degrees. Amanda?
Something to look forward to. Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11.